Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anil, and in this Angular video tutorial we will learn about the file and folder structure of Angular projects. So I actually divide the file and folder structure in the two parts, one for the beginners. If you are a beginners in the Angular or you are a fresher in the front-end development, then you just need to focus on these points, right? And if you have the basic idea about the Angular and front-end, then you can just go with these file also, right? Yes, we will cover the both of things, these folder and file structure as well as these also, but mainly if you are a fresher, then you have to focus on these parts. At the fresher levels, we are not going to change these kind of things, but still we will discuss these things also, right? So now let's get in start. First file is package.json file. So you will find it on your root folder here, right? So this is the first file when you are creating your project. The first file which is created for your project is package.json file, right? And what it have your application name, its version, and scripts. Like there is a lots of script, but one script that we regularly use, which is ng-ser, right? Then we have the dependencies and the dev dependencies, right? Dependencies, the core package which is used by the Angular, and the dev dependencies simply means these files have some these packages have some dependencies and they are just mentioned here, right? So let's just go for the second one file, which is a folder, which is node modules, right? Keep in mind that you never need to write any kind of code, any file in this folder, because when any other developer will just use your code and it will use the npm install, your code will be deleted. That's why you have to write your code anywhere in your component, anywhere in your file and folder, but never ever write code in the node_module, right? Then we are just go for the src folder. Here you will find, and you can see that 95% of our work which is related to the development is done inside the src folders. Some other work like configurations and you can say that, and some installation and end-to-end testings are just outside this folder. Otherwise 95% work which is related to the development should be inside it, right? Then here we will just going to look out the environments folder. You will find there two files. Environment folder is basically used when you just want to define some different configuration on different environments. So what is the environment means? So when you are developing your application, then this is the development environment. When you are testing your application, then this is the testing environment. And when you just make your website live, then basically this is the production environment, right? And why we need to have put the different configuration for the different environments? The reason is, let's say you are developing something, then it will be on the development server, and some API URLs and some constants and some variables can be different, right? That's why we will just make the different files for different environments, right? So for example, your website name is google.com, right? And when you are just making it a development, then you just want to use for the API URL dev.google.com, right? And when you just are testing your website, then you just make a URL for testing.google.com, and when you are just making it live, then you will use this one. So these kind of things we can put in the environment files, right? We will make the 3 environment files for production, which is prod.ts. Then we can make the dev, then we can make the test, and we can put the different configurations in different files, right? So we will learn more about these files in the upcoming videos, right? So now the next thing is assets. So when you just want to add some extra things like fonts, images, and extra CSS or extra CSS from any library, then you can put these things inside here, right? And now very important file, which is index.html. So this is the first file which is loading in your project when you are run it on the browser, which is the index.html. And when you open it, you will find your title name and some HTML part, and here you will find your app.root, right? This is, I will tell you what is this in just a moment, but as I told you, which is this is the first file. And if you just write here something like here, then it will always be visible. So keep in mind that you never to write any kind of code here. You can just change your title, and if you just want to put some favicon icon and all, then you can just write it here, right? Otherwise, yeah, you don't need to write any kind of code in this file. Then main.js file. Actually, main.js file will make a bridge between your Angular code and your index.html file. It will load your all JS files inside the index.html, and let's open it and let's see what it is. That here you will see that it will ask for the modes, then it have load some platforms, environments, and app modules. So it have the all major stuff imported, and it will just load it here, right? And it will just bootstrap your application with the HTML file. Great. And after that, which is style.css, let's say you just want to make some by default style or global style, then you can write it here, right? And if you just want to make a style for a specific code, then you can write the style inside specifically in the components, and I will show you this file also now, which is a very major file, which is folder which is app. So when you just open it, you will find there which is the app.module.ts file, right? So, and it have the module, it have the component, and it have the route. And when you just open the index.html, you will find the app route. That simply means it load this component in your application. If you just remove it, then there is nothing to load from this file, right? This app is actually defining app_root. Okay, after that, now you may be confused what is the module and what is the components. So in the detail we will learn in the upcoming videos, but for few words you can say that components are the very small functionalities, and modules are basically the collection of your components, right? For example, let's say you just want to make a complete functionality for the users, then users is basically your module, and user login is one of the component, user sign up is the another component, user profile, user setting, user password are the different components. Here you can see that the users is a module, and the collection of component, which is user sign up, user login, user profile, user setting, user change password, and all the components. Perfect. So these are the things that we need to understand at the fresher levels, and you actually must need to know these files, right? And these are some extra files, so now let's look into it also. First thing is editor.configuration. So basically you will find this file also on the root here, but the major thing is that to making the editor configuration, right? So if you are using the Sublime, or you are using Visual Studio, Atom, Notepad++, then you can just make common configurations like character set, what should be character set you use, and the intent style, intent size, and these kind of things, right? How much you white space want or not, and next line and all, right? So basically this is only for when you have the advanced level or you have expertise in Angular and all, then you can just use, right? Then karma.configuration, this file basically maintains the log for package.json, and it have the all version controlling and dependencies and dev dependencies, everything inside the log.json, right? Now let's ESLinter is basically configuration for your ESLinting, which is help you to write the better code. It will just tell you that where you have to use the const, where you have to use the let, var function kind of things, right? And if you did not use the variable which is defined, and it will tell that you should have to remove it and all. TypeScript files basically used for TypeScript configurations, and E2E folder is basically used for the end-to-end configurations. Proctor.config file using for configuration of the testing purpose, and this is the TypeScript configuration inside end-to-end, right? So these are the things that you need to know at the fresher level for and intermediate level on Angular file and folder structure. If you still have any kind of confusion, you can ask me in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and like this video.